Hey guys, Moogle 847 here, and you know, I want to do a little bit of a quick thing on my thoughts, especially with all the controversy of Ghostbusters going on. I mean, granted, I put some of my thoughts into Ace's video that will be showing up whenever that gets edited together and thrown together. Believe me, I'm going to be watching that his channel very closely on that, but. But I did want to talk real quick because I know a lot of people are getting to the place where we're getting sick of the CG monster or CG effects. Granted, they've been slowly evolving. What are you doing, cat? She did her squeak. Anyway, but I know a lot of people are getting to the place where we're getting sick of CG technology. But it is really, really getting to the place where it's getting good. Not perfect, believe me, not perfect, but it's still we're still working on it. The thing that's funny is I love how everyone's getting so tired of CG, but the problem is we're kind of stuck with it until we find another alternative that works better. And I mean, it's one of those deals. Like everyone always praises the practical effects over CG or blue screen. Oh, excuse me. But the deal is, it's with what we can do with our technology. We try to do our best to give people the illusion of being in that world, and CG has been one of the absolute closest we have gotten to complete 100% creativity of worlds, characters, and just whatever we need, whatever is in the artist and director's imagination. Now, a lot of people like one of the arguments I can look at that just comes up is that yeah, a lot of people are complaining about the way the CG ghosts look in these new Ghostbusters trailers. They're like, oh, they're still Scooby-Doo ghosts. Oh, they look like the Eddie Murphy Haunted Mansion ghosts and all that. And it's like, well, yeah. What what exactly are they supposed to make them look like? Oh, they're supposed to look like they did in the '84 version when they did it all practically. Well, yeah, the librarian ghost looked freaking amazing. I will give you that. And Slimer, he did really well too. He looked pretty darn good. But then you get like the terror dog. Now, when it's actually the puppet, it's sitting there moving its head around, whatever, you actually are kind of afraid of that thing. And then you get the sequences where, like, it's running after somebody, and you look at it and you go, wow, that really did not age well. Because, let's face it, as much as everyone loved, like, like the original Clash of the Titans, because it is a classic. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that is, you know, a testament to what they could do back then. But I always had a problem with these Harryhausen movie monsters. All the stop motion stuff, because because whenever I saw the stop motion monster, it's like, yeah, okay, it's a real monster that's kind of there, but it's just too choppy. I didn't like it. It pulled me out of the illusion. Now, granted, CG can still pull me out of the illusion. I mean, God, I could go back and rewatch the original Mortal Kombat, and I'll see like a CG thing do an odd movement that the camera wasn't wanting it to do, and you go up and go, wow, that did not age well. Or you just look at the special effects and you go, wow, that looks like shit. But at the same time, at least it was trying to be something. Granted, now looking back at Mortal Kombat, I look at it and go, wow, the special effects are freaking Sci-Fi Channel original movie quality. Why? But But I mean, we have made advancements with our technologies. Now, I mean, like I said, with the original Ghostbusters, they did everything they could. Like Slimer, it was a giant, or it was like a guy in a costume with little arms, whatever, and he just do these little movements and just move his arms around, and it's like, okay, I can believe that's an actual thing there. But if he had like black leggings on so you couldn't see his legs, would shoot him on a black screen and then just kind of superimpose his image onto the actual shots. And it's like, okay, that works. You can get that to work. But like I said, they were doing the best they could with the technology they had. Now Ghostbusters 2, they did a little better with the special effects and did some CG work. But it was still like 1989, so the special effects just weren't quite there yet. Now, granted, I mean, like I said, I cannot go up and say the CG is the answer. Because there are still times, like, I can go back and watch the original Lord of the Rings. And I freaking love Lord of the Rings. I love The Hobbit. I love what Peter Jackson did with that series. I mean, granted, he kind of had to bastardize some of Tolkien's work, but then again, Tolkien would talk forever on all the details, to the point you're sitting there going, okay, how can I pull all of the wordsmithery that this guy had used and make it into a believable world and do exciting action? It really, really is difficult to do. Alright, I mean, it is up to the director to do the best to translate the material he is given to help convey what the story is, what the characters are like, and everything else into the audience's mind. Help draw the audience in. Well, like I said, with Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson did the best he could. And one of the things that really was rough was Gollum. Now, like I said, granted, you watch The Hobbit, when you watch Gollum, it's darn near perfect. It looks amazing. And the way he interacts with objects works beautifully. But that is not to say, sorry, it's like 4 in the morning, I'm trying to record this. But that's not to say it was always perfect. Because granted, when they first did the first Lord of the Rings, they were going to do like a lot more cartoony kind of Gollum, and we're just going to have Andy Serkis do the voice. Well, eventually Andy Serkis got to the place where he would record it, as a guy in a weird suit, and then they'd have the actors doing palette without him and all this, and there were just some times where they would do like Gollum is grabbing this guy's shirt and his hands just don't look like they're completely touching because, well, it's CG. It's not completely there. Or another great example that I found that was really funny, and it's great that I could find this all these years later, but Gollum's hair in those first movies was hilarious. Because, I mean, he's only got a few strands. But unlike what you got in The Hobbit, Unexpected Journey, Gollum's hair would actually look like it sat where it needed to sit. In Lord of the Rings, you could clearly see bits where it was like, you could tell it was sitting over his shoulder, not actually laying on his shoulder. But then again, like I said, they were doing the best they could with the technology they had. So, and so with like Ghostbusters, it's a multi-million-dollar company or billion-dollar company, whatever, but they only have so much budget to do. They had to work on getting the costumes ready, getting the venue set up, which they went with Boston. Whatever. I mean, the original Ghostbusters did mix of New York and Los Angeles, but like I said, with this latest Ghostbusters movie, I know the special effects can at times look laughable, but at the same time, we're still in that age where CG is kind of like the Harryhausen movie effect. You know, the stop motion effect. We know it's fake, but we want this movie and we're going to try our best to put it aside. Now the question is, do I think that this movie is going to be amazing? Probably not as amazing as I would like it to be. But I will still see this movie. And I am not seeing this because of the all-female cast. I wouldn't have cared less if they had it as a bunch of kittens playing Ghostbusters. I don't care. I just wanted more Ghostbusters movies. So I am going to support this because I want the franchise to continue. I just don't want to have it be that there are that many people that decided they didn't want to see it. And this is not going after the whole like, oh, well, it's because you're feminine, or you're against the feminist movement, or oh, you're against women because it's an all Ghostbusters cast. No, I do not care about that. I just want a good Ghostbusters movie. Will this be the good Ghostbusters movie I'm waiting for? Probably not. But I'm still going to check it out because I want them to do more. I want it to be like, yeah, this is Paul Feig's original idea, and they're probably going to try to do a sequel hook. So therefore, I want to see where they go with it. I want to give this movie a chance. I don't want this beloved franchise to die. Of course, then again, if we really wanted the original Ghostbusters to have done well, we needed to have number 3 happen. And number 3 did not happen because we lost Harold Ramis. Because the studio dicked around long enough that we could not record it before Harold Ramis passed away. So, with everybody complaining about this all-female Ghostbusters movie, all I can say is that is the fault. That is not the fault of the director. That is the fault of the studio for waiting too long. Don't know about if it's the fault of Bill Murray, but it's mostly the studio's fault for not getting all their stuff together, making sure they had just enough to get this off the ground and get it to work right before they lost Harold Ramis. So since they didn't do that right, they have no one to blame for any of this fallout but themselves. Now, also, one other point I'd like to make, because this is probably going to be an annotation in Ace's video, but I love the fact that everyone talks about if anybody says they're not going to go see this movie, they're anti-feminist. Well, I don't think Rolf is. He is a married man. He was married before he even started Cinemassacre. So, I mean, he knew what he was getting into. So he is not against women. He is not against Ghostbusters. He just wants the Ghostbusters movie to be as good as the original. Now, that's one reason why I'm hoping that this does well. And that the movie is decent enough. I mean, as long as the writing is better than the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles remake, with special effects that are probably going to be better than that one. And hey, no Transformers Shredder. Sounds good. But, with them modernizing Ghostbusters, sure, I'm in for this. I want this. Let's get this going. But, like I said, with with the whole, losing my train of thought, I'm getting tired. But like the whole deal with, oh yeah, that's right, the whole deal of them picking anybody that's anti-feminist. Let me point out one thing. Because you're saying that anybody that doesn't want to see this movie is a sexist. Here's the problem with this. There is one line. It's in the international trailer where they talk about, where they show off, like, Thor there, Kevin, Chris Hemsworth's character, going up and drawing a No Ghost logo. And the No Ghost logo has boobs. And when they're up there, like, oh, okay, well, and he's like, well, if you want me to, it's boobs, because you're all women. No? Well, I can make them bigger if you need me to. And it's like, okay, we have gone into that territory. And then there are women that are up like, oh, you're feminine, or you're against women if you're seeing that movie. Like, this movie's starting to sound like it's against women to begin with. Oh, and let's not forget, I had to look this up on IMDb. This will show up in Ace's video as well. I think he's going to have it as an annotation, but we found three ghosts that are absolutely amazing. I mean, the first ghost, guys, I am not making this up. Go to IMDb right now. Look it up. I mean, just pause the video, go check it out. If not, I'm going to continue talking. But there are literally roles listed as, sorry, I'm kind of getting ready to doze off, as Ghost Pimp. And then they got 2 Ghost Prostitutes. I will say it again. Ghost Pimp and Ghost Prostitutes. Seriously, it's just, it's one of those deals. I want to defend this movie because, or at least defend the special effects of this movie. That, and if what I hear is true from the leaked script review, supposedly it's some guy finds or makes a dimensional gateway that goes to a ghost dimension, and ghosts start coming. Or he lets ghosts through that ghost dimension, and it causes problems. Well, here's the thing. One, this feels like Dan Aykroyd's original script that he had originally written for him and John Belushi. Unfortunately, we lost John Belushi. This movie's got a lot of death associated with it, so they couldn't do that. But one of their original ideas is that there were a ton of ghosts all over the place. I mean, even Stay Puft showed up on page 20. He was early on. But the idea is that there are multiple dimensions, and one of them has ghosts. Now, what if for these ghosts showing back up that are colorful, what if it's that they go through that portal and it somehow energizes the spirit, so that way it gets a little more pigmentation? There you go. But, it's just one of those deals. Anyway. So, guys, I am probably going to get ready to wrap this up. Are you okay? Okay. I'm getting ready to go to bed, girl. Alright? Just hold on. Anyway, so, like I said, I will see this movie just because I want more Ghostbusters. I don't care about whether or not you have all women, all men, mix of both. Hell, you can have this be an all Asian team. I don't care. All Eskimos, all whatever. I don't care. Well, yeah, I just really don't care. You can make the Ghostbusters freaking gay. I don't care. I just want a good Ghostbusters movie. Whether it captures the original 84 feel or it makes winks to the 84 feel, that's fine. I want more Ghostbusters. I want this series to come back, and I want this series to continue on so that way when I get to the place where I have children, that they can actually enjoy it and tradition can continue on. So guys, that's all I've got for you today. My screensaver came up because it was taking too long. That's all I've got for you today. Join me one of the next times. I'm gonna try to get a review up because I can sit here and talk forever, but I would rather talk about an actual review, stay out of the dirty politics and all that. But you know, but when it comes to like movies and games, I got to do something. I got to talk about something. So, and yeah, like I said, hopefully Ace puts that video up here in the next couple days. We'll see. He's trying to edit stuff together, and we'll see what happens. So, anyway, so I will see you all on the next one. Take care, guys.